So now that our client can actually pass a nickname to the backend, we just need to figure out how to use it. And for now, let's just go to the backend and actually make a way to store that client with that nickname so we kind of know what socket belongs to what nickname, right? So we're just going to do it simple again this time. What I want to do first is just make a very simple map that can store the nickname combined with the client ID for now. We'll change that later, but let's just get started right there. So we'll make a map right here, and the map is just going to be called clients, and it's going to be of the type map, where we're going to pass in a string that's going to be the ID, and then a string that's actually going to be the nickname. And it's going to be equal a new map right here with a string and a string. Now again, we're going to make this different later, but for now it's just a good way to get started with maps. And if you don't know maps, it's pretty much a key value set. So the key will be the first one right here, and that will be unique. So if I put the same key in twice, it'll override the value because there'll only be one key in here. For instance, if the key is 1 and I put in John, then later on if I put in a key of 1 again, John will be overwritten with Bill maybe if that's what I pass in, right? So that's how a map works. Now the map will need two things. I'll need to know the client ID. So I need to get the client ID somehow, and I can actually do that by adding something we haven't played around with yet to the message. I can add the socket, the connected socket right here by adding an @ connected socket, putting in a name right here, and that's actually all I have to do. Now I have the connected socket that sent that message with that nickname. So that's pretty neat. Now I can use the map to kind of save that. So I'll say this dot clients dot, and then it's called set. I'm going to for now just pass in the client's ID right here. That's going to be the key because that's going to be unique hopefully. And then I'm going to pass in the nickname because I kind of want to then store that nickname. And then the final thing I'll do, instead of console logging the nickname right here, I'll actually console log a string just to say all nicknames like this. And then I'll console log the actual list of the nicknames right here. That's the clients. So I'll say this.clients. There we go. So now whenever a client joins, he'll be saved in the map, and I'll log him down here in the console. I also want to add one more thing. I want to say if a client disconnects, I would like him to be removed from the map. So we're going to do that as well, and that's very simple now because we have the clients. So we can say delete instead, and now we need the key again, and the key is going to be on the client. Now notice again, it's any right now, so we'll change it to socket. There we go. And now we can say client.id down here to kind of get rid of that inside the map. And again, I'll just use the console log as the final thing right here to instead of actually printing the disconnect, I would like to actually just go and print the map again. So we know that it's gone, that client now. By the way, I want to mention one thing. I add the string first and then a comma, because if you don't do that, it'll just say object. So if you get object in your console, that's because you need the comma in here in the console log in order to kind of convert that JavaScript object into something readable in the console. That was just a small free gift right there. Let's try and jump to the front end and see what happens. We refresh the page, we need a nickname. I'll say John, I'll send that, and you'll notice I get to the message page, but also you'll notice that now we have John with this specific unique identifier. Let's actually try and go back and jump over here and send a nickname of Bill as the second guy who speaks. And again, if we go back, you'll notice now there's both John and Bill in the map. So now the map starts populating a unique ID combined with the nickname of each individual user. Now that's a good start, but we're going to make something a bit smarter later on, because if I later on want to send a message to John and only John, it's kind of hard to find him. It's possible, but it's harder if we start storing the actual sockets themselves. But let's just keep it simple again. I love simple for now. So now we can do that. And actually also when we're in here, why not just start, just like we have messages, figuring out how we can see who's online right now. So that'll be what we do in the next lesson. See you next time. Bye.